from the Ticats Audio Network. This is the Ticats This Week.
Ticats This Week, hitting you right where it hurts here on the Ticats Audio Network. Rick Zamperin, Simoni Lawrence, Matt Bucknor. What an awesome game it was last Saturday night. Tiger Cats over the Ottawa Redblacks 23-20. Hamilton's third win in a row. They're now first in the East. We'll get to the standings in just a second, but I want to give props to the newest member of the CFL honor roll, and that is Jamal Peters. Couple of defensive tackles, 2 big picks against the Redblacks. He's on the CFL honor roll this week, which brings us to week 7 in the CFL. And we're going to start with a big East Division showdown. Toronto in Montreal Thursday night. Calgary visits Winnipeg Friday night. On Saturday, it's the BC Lions hosting Saskatchewan. And Sunday night, the Tiger Cats in the nation's capital to take on the Ottawa Redblacks. Tiger Cats pregame begins at 6 p.m. with Bubba and Matt. Kickoff is at 7 with myself and Simoni Lawrence. Tune in on the Ticats Audio Network. All right, quickly to the standings. In the West Division, Calgary's 4-1, Saskatchewan's 4-1, Winnipeg at 3-1, BC 3-3, and Edmonton bringing up the rear at 1-4. The Beasts of the East are, of course, the Tiger Cats. They're 3-2. They've won 3 in a row. Montreal is 3-2. Toronto is 1-4, and the Redblacks 1-5. Simoni, it wasn't pretty last week, but the Ticats got the job done. They beat Ottawa in a game that maybe Hamilton didn't deserve to win. You can make the same case for Ottawa as well. But what did that win do for the Tiger Cats' confidence level?
My confidence level is through the roof. And I can only imagine how confident the boys are through the roof. Because you remember earlier, we were always talking about how their best is good enough. Now we know their best. Their worst isn't that good enough, too. Their best is good enough, and also their best, they don't have to be their best to win football games. That's the best feeling in the world. Your coach can sleep at night, be like, you know what? If a couple of things go wrong, we still good enough to just pull this game off, because everything did not go our way. We started the game snapping the ball overhead, throwing the ball out, intentional grounding, throwing the overthrows, drop passes, all kind of things that did not go our way. But at the end of the day, the boys know if they do 2 things: win the turnover ratio and keep our quarterback safe, we're in great shape to win any football game. It doesn't matter if it goes our way.
Matt, what did that win over Ottawa do to this team's confidence? It was a gritty win.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? It's a sign of a good football team. And I love you talk about it. It's a confidence boost, but I think it's a chemistry booster. It's a trust booster. You look into the fourth quarter. I'm going to kind of just fast forward right to the fourth quarter. But some of the things that we talk about through the games and even through practices, Sim, we talk about the defense. It's like, hey, offense, I got your back. Defense, offense is going to roll out onto the field. Offense say, hey, I got your back. Special teams, they're going to say the same thing. Hey, I got your back. But this was signs of that, because sometimes a guy will say, hey, I got your back, and then there's no action to follow it up. And you're like, hey, I thought you had my back. What's going on? But again, it's not to question them, but sometimes you want to make sure that, what you're saying, you're going to follow through on it. And I think this is exactly what Hamilton did. It's going to be, and what it does is it builds trust and it builds chemistry amongst the units. Of course, offensively, it builds their that chemistry with it amongst those units themselves. But then on offense to the defense, Bo Levi going to that fourth quarter. Bo Levi telling the defense, I'm sure he's telling them, hey guys, I'm gonna get these ones back. I haven't been playing hot. Fourth quarter, I got you guys, and he's proven that by scrambling in the win zone with the game on the line and for a first down. We don't really see Bo scramble too much, but he's showing, hey, listen, this is the type of player that I am. I'm going to put my neck on the line for you guys so we can win this football game. And then again, you have the same thing. You got Jamal Peters. You mentioned Jamal Peters, who was the honor roll PFF through the week. He put his neck on the line, telling the guys, hey, I got your back too. Offense, you guys aren't rolling right now. Don't worry, I'm going to get 2. I'm not going to get 1. I'm going to get 2 for you guys. And then not only that, he's playing physical football, setting the edge, making tackles. I thought, again, all those units playing together, and I love that you said that word, Rick. It's gritty, and you have to have some of these gritty performances. It's not always going to be a 51-38 type game every single week, right, where the offense is just exploding and putting crazy numbers up on the stat sheet. You're going to have some of these games where there's going to be a couple 2-1-outs, punt, maybe Hopefully not too many turnovers, but again, you're going to have games like that, and then the defense will have to do the same thing. Respond. There might be a little bit of a longer drive that the offense gives up, the opposing offense, but then the defense can respond there too. And then special teams, of course, you're going to have to, grind those games out and just make your plays when it comes. And they made their plays when it counted most. The fourth quarter, we always talk about it. Same when we talk about this. You make your money in the fourth quarter. You make your money in the fourth quarter. You make your money in the playoffs. Those are the type of those, and you want to see who's going to show up when the game's on the line. And these guys did that. And I think, and not to discredit Ottawa, Ottawa's not a good team, but again, it's CFL, and any team can beat anybody on any given week. And so, going up against this team, 1-4, 1-5, doesn't matter the record. You're still playing a professional football team, and you got to show up. And so, to win these games, it builds confidence, and then this is something that can steamroll right through the rest of the season.
To add on to that, Matt, when you get in games like this, because it's inevitable, especially in a long 18-game season, there's going to be those games where you're just not tackling well, you're not catching the ball well, you're doing overthrows and all of that stuff. And that's why you pay Kenny Lawler to catch these passes in the end zone over people's head. And that's what we did when we was young. We couldn't make plays. Yo, Simoni, go. I'm going to just throw the ball up and go catch it. That's what you do. Sometimes you just can't make plays. So you pay guys like Kenny Lawler that can make plays in games like this. That's what we call they know the difference. Geno Lewis, he was making plays, but he wasn't making plays. 2 touchdowns to a bunch of yards in a game like this. We know the difference. Kenny Lawler, you know what I'm saying? That's why you get a Tim White, set it up for the touchdown, catching these key passes down the field. That's what happens in these kind of games. Jamal Peters, our cornerback, that's our big dog over there in the secondary. That's what he's supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? So in these kind of games, you depend on your consistency, and your consistency always should be in where you spend your money. Look at them offensive lines. Don't touch Bo. I don't care what's going on in this game. Don't touch Bo. You know what I'm saying? So you're paying for the consistency because you know that these kind of games are going to happen. But those big boys up front like, hey, man, I eat good every week. I want to keep eating good. I'm protecting Bo. Kenny Lawler like, man, I know what I'm getting paid. I got to catch everything that get thrown my way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's how you won these games. And I'm telling you, I was so excited because I was like, yo, we don't have to be our best and we can still win football games because we have superstars that can push us through football games no matter what's going on. If everybody's just flat and average, I know for a fact Kenny's not going to be, Tim White's not going to be, Jamal Peters not going to be, and I know we're going to talk about him later. And I know Reggie not going to be, you know what I'm saying? So I seen it. I got to see it. Like my football eyes seen certain people that's always going to be who they are no matter what's going on in the game. If both teams just hit a wall and just like, man, we just not feeling it today. Because that happens in football. I heard. I don't know about it, but I heard that happen.
Hey, I know playoff Rick, football is all. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. Like, what do you think about the confidence booster for Hamilton?
Listen, I was just gonna say, a playoff caliber team is all about stacking wins. This team has stacked 3 wins in a row, and their last win was very different than their previous win. Right? In Toronto, they're scoring 51 points. They didn't have to rely on the defense. The offense was on its A game. It was firing on all cylinders. Every time it had the ball, it was scoring at will. So it said, hey, defense, we got you in this game. Special teams against Toronto was outstanding as well. This past game against Ottawa, the defense is like, all right, offense, we see that you're struggling, especially in the early going. We got you. We're going to make these big turnovers. We're going to swing the momentum our way. We're going to get you good field position to try again. And ultimately, by the fourth quarter, that recipe worked. 4 turnovers for the Ticats was huge, obviously, and those big plays in the fourth quarter was the difference in the game. But the other thing, too, is there were so many times in past years, I know the past is the past, but it's still, there's an ounce of relevancy in the present, is that a game like this would not go the Ticats' way for whatever reason, right? 3 out of 5 times or 4 out of 5 times, and you'd sit there wondering, like, what? They have talent, they have superstars on this team. Why doesn't it work? But that last game, I think they proved to themselves they don't have to be perfect in all three phases of the game. If one or two are fantastic, they're going to win. But I think they proved to themselves that they can win on any given Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Thursday, whenever you want to play the game. The Ticats can get the W. I think that's a huge confidence boost, not only going into the next game, the rematch on Sunday in Ottawa, but every other game on the calendar. It's going to be fun to watch. But Sim, you mentioned Kenny Lawler, and I'll start with Matt on this one. This guy is unconscious, right? Like 7 touchdowns in 5 games this season. He's on pace to score 25 TDs this season, which would break Milt Stiegel's all-time single-season record of 23 set in 2002. Matt, how does this guy continue to make big plays?
He's just, oh man, the dude, it's one, it's just fun to watch for one.
Yeah.
But two, he's not just beating, sometimes there's going to be a coverage bust, a corner's supposed to be covering deep in the deep third, and he's underneath in the flat, and then they just kind of getting him over top, or a double move, beating guys on double moves. He's making contested catches. The catch that he made, that 40-plus yard catch that he made in the end zone against that Ottawa DB, he was running full speed, had to stop and twist and catch the. Like, people don't understand the level of difficulty that takes to make that type of catch. Then the catches that he's making in Toronto, these are contested catches. He had to jump. It's a jump ball. I heard LaPolice, he was talking about these are not 50-50 balls anymore. These are 80-20 balls at this point for Kenny. And so he's making outstanding and really tough catches. And then of course that makes Bo look good. Bo's like, hey, listen, when Bo's dropping back, he's looking to, like Sim said earlier, he's looking to use I'm not saying that these guys are going to the yard and making those type of yard type plays, but he's like, listen, we need a play right now. This is going to be my go-to guy. And it's no surprise because this is something that Kenny's been doing since his career. If you were to look at his career highlights, he's making all of these types of catches. He did it in Winnipeg. He did it in Edmonton. And then he went back to Winnipeg and continued to do it there. And then now in Hamilton, he's just continuing that consistency. His top production year in terms of touchdowns was 6. The guy already has 7 right now. Okay. And to be on pace to beat Milt, that's like big time company right there, because Milt is one of the GOATs to play the position. And again, like I said at the beginning, it's just fun to watch. And again, he doesn't have to change much. I know from last game, there's a couple drops that he's going to want back because he's just that type of player, and he's going to want to clean things up and be that reliable receiver that they know that he can be. But he's just going to continue. I only see him getting better from here, which is pretty wild to think about.
It has been fun to watch. Sim, we know that Kenny Lawler is a physical specimen. Big target, catch radius the size of Jupiter. The guy wins 50-50 balls. How much of it is mental fitness as well on his part, and showing the opposition that, hey, man, you can go after the ball, but I'm getting it?
He's a dog. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people that like me and Kenny, we used to go at it when we played football together, you know what I'm saying? Like on another kind of level, because we both understand like the kind of football player, you know what I mean? So like it's something that's just inside. Like he understands that he's better than everybody. And once you understand that you're better than everybody, certain things make you upset. I know Matt said Paul LaPolice said they're 80-20, but in his head, those are 99.9 to 0.9%. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like when that stuff would frustrate him. Hearing 80-20 would frustrate somebody like that. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean 80-20? 99.9. You know what I mean? That's what's going on in his head when that ball's in the air. That's like complete disrespect when you view yourself as you're better than everybody. You know, like, why is one person sticking me? Are you guys crazy? I'm actually getting mad. You know what I mean? And welcome back, Milt, to TSN. We love you, and we always here, and we gonna hold it down for you. You know, we're glad you back. But Kenny's gonna get the record. You know why he's gonna get this record? Because he is playing football with somebody that loves doing what Kenny loves to do. Bo Levi, if you study Bo back in the day, Bo throwing the ball up to Kenny, I don't know how many times in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, Bo just threw the ball up to Tall Rogers or something. That's what Bo Levi loves to do. If he can build the trust factor with his wide receivers and say, hey, bro, if I put the ball near there, will you catch it? And they say, what? That's what he likes to do, guys. So the mental aspect, that's who he is. He's built like that. I'm better than everybody, so don't play with me. Don't tell me it's an 80-20 ball. Don't tell me it's a 90-10 ball. It's 99.9, you know what I mean? So that's just how he is. So when he's going up there to catch with those mittens he has, and fans, when y'all go say what's up to Kenny, I want y'all to go give him a high five and see where your hand gonna land on the man pinky or something, yo. The guy's radius is like this. He's built for what he does, you know what I'm saying? And you got to understand that as a defensive coordinator and be like, yo, some people are just God gave them a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? So no disrespect to you, corner, but you're not sticking him by yourself, you know what I mean? It's just, you got to understand the game within the game. But yeah, man, he's doing his thing, yo. As long as he's healthy, come on, let's get to it.
Yeah, knock on wood on that thing because he hasn't played 18 games, so we don't want to jinx it. But yeah, he's a physical specimen. He's got the mentality for it, too. He wants the ball. He wants to make the big play, and he's certainly doing that so far. So good for the Ticats. By the way, Ticats Redblacks this Sunday night. Ticats Audio Network is where you want to get all your information. Tiger Cats pregame with Bubba and Matt begins at 6 on Sunday. Kickoff is at 7. And join us for the postgame show as well, hopefully celebrating a 4th consecutive win. Sim, on to you. We're going to talk a little defense here. Linebacker Reggie Stubblefield made his CFL or his Ticats debut against Ottawa after a 400-day layoff, and he ends up making a team-leading 7 defensive tackles in that game. What are your thoughts on how he played, and how much better is Stubblefield going to be in the weeks ahead?
Oh, he's going to be extremely better. Oh, my goodness. Because he made plays, but there were plays on the field that I know for a fact he was going to make, if his eyes were just seeing the game a little more. And that's just going to come with reps. But the thing about Reg, the eye test is, oh my gosh, he moves faster than everybody else on the football field. That's what it looked like to me just being a professional football player and just watching tape. He just looked faster than everybody else on the football field. That's just what it was. And there was this one play, oh my goodness. I seen him about pick this ball off. It was when our rookie Bagnick dropped the interception. If Bagnick did not touch that ball, he was going to take it to the crib. And he sent me a message. He like, hey, big bro, hey, Sim, man, can you do me a favor? Can you tell the fans that I want to be called Uno? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So the man, I think Uno mean number 1. I don't know. I took 4 years of Spanish in college, so I think Uno mean number 1. That's what he said he wanted to be called. So if we keep winning football games and he keep producing and making big TFLs in the backfield, we got to call him Uno. Let's call him Uno, you know what I'm saying? But he's going to continue to get better as long as he can stay healthy and focused, because there was a lot of plays on there that I thought he should have made and he will eventually make as well. But he's going to keep getting better, because he's one of those football players that really wants it too. And the thing that I liked was his mood was the same all game. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of ebbs and flows, and there was plays that he missed or missed tackles and stuff, but his mood was always the same. And that's all the players that really got that right there. They don't wear anything because they understand, man, I just missed a tackle. That was luck. That doesn't happen often, you know what I mean? Like, we're that delusional that's not like that didn't just happen, next play. And I really like that. And he was hyping the crowd up and getting the fans into it, because this is sports entertainment, baby. It's sports entertainment. If I'm a fan, I want to make sure the players paid a little attention to me. You make a play, look over to me, do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, entertain me, baby. And he was doing that. So yeah,
listen, a 4th win in a row for the Tiger Cats. They will be numero uno in the East still. Matt, what did you make of Stubblefield's game for the first time in well over a year?
Okay, well, Uno, aka Fresh Legs, he had fresh legs out there. He had fresh legs out there now. But he was out there. He was rolling. He was rolling. He's like, okay, I missed a little bit of training camp. Okay, I missed a few weeks of the season. Let me get out there and get busy. Let me get out there and get busy.
Chill out, bro. They don't know about that.
Fresh legs, aka fresh legs out there,
That
bro.
might stick, man. That might stick.
But he was out there. But he was out there flying around. I love this compete level. Compete level. Sim, one of the plays that was one of the standout plays. You mentioned it in the first quarter where he undercut the out route. It went through one of our defenders' hands, and I saw him the way he was breaking on that ball. It was okay. This might be a house call. But
at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, that was such a I was looking at that. I'm like, man, he's about to get loose. But again, just that type of play. And then the other play that stuck out to me was the one where he had that TFL on Pimpleton in the backfield. It was a 3-yard loss, but it was where he came from. He was deep. It wasn't like he was lined up on the line of scrimmage. Like he came downhill and was flashed the fresh
I think
leg.
he was tracking him, Buck.
Was he tracking him on that?
He might have been tracking him on that play because it looked like two guys came in zoom motion because Stab was on one and then Reggie was on the other one. And it was one of those plays where they were trying to lead block for Pimpleton on the play. Yep. And then so they were both tracking it. It was such a good play because even Goose did a great job because Goose set the edge. So there was nowhere the guy could have went anyway because that's why I said he just looked faster than everybody.
He was just so speed. Exactly. And this closing speed on that play was outstanding. Not a lot of guys, Sim, are gonna make the play like that. You know what I mean? Like they might catch him at the line of scrimmage. He might get like a yard, maybe two. But that was a TFL. And so like he was out there, and like you said, he was out there rolling. His speed is great, and I thought again his energy was up. He almost had a forced fumble too earlier in that game. So he was just out there. He's flying around. He's making plays. And again, it's just fun to see. And I like Uno. I think we might be calling him Uno for the rest of this go. But no, I love his compete level and his energy throughout the game.
Yeah. So he not only wears number 1 and wants to be called Uno, he got the nickname from his mom because Uno, aka Fresh Legs, is one of 10 kids. And he's got 9 sisters. So he's the only boy in the litter, so to speak.
Oh, he good there.
Wow.
He good for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
I got 2 sisters, and they are ride or die for me. 9? What?
He's got 9, yes.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of fresh legs or strong legs, how about kicker Mark Liegghio converting a Ticats record 25 consecutive field goals and counting? Matt, what does that say about legs and the confidence that he instills in his coaches and teammates?
We're in a performance business. Sim talked about entertainment, but it's also performance business. And you get paid to perform. And when you're rolling like the way Legs is rolling, all it's going to do is it's just going to build more and more and more confidence. We talked to Coach Milanovic at the end of one of the games. And he was talking about, he's like, man, I don't even worry. He said that on air. I don't even worry when Legs is stepping up to make any kick. Doesn't matter what the kick is. He's not worried about that. And so if you have that type of confidence from the head man, you already know that they're already talking about that in the meeting rooms, talking about it like that on the football field. And then what it does for a player too is it instills more confidence in that player as well. And so I think, the team has nothing but confidence in him. And he's been consistent this way for a long time, and he's been a guy that Hamilton can rely on, and I see him continuing this same performance. Are we gonna see? Is he gonna put 50 in a row? 50 in a row?
Hey, he better.
Come on, 50 in a row.
Because I seen a guy come off the street, Lewis Ward, and do it. So he, in my opinion, he's doing what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially the way he's playing and the way he played all last year. I would hope he don't miss nothing going on because I seen a guy come off the street and break records in the CFL. So the standard is for the kicker position is the standard. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like. The standard for the kicker position has to be the standard because that's all they do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So whatever the standard is for the kicker position, that's the standard.
Yeah.
Like,
Sim,
what
let me
he's doing
ask you
here,
this.
I'm happy.
Let me ask you this, though, Sim.
Yeah.
The way that Liegghio is doing what he's doing, does it allow the offense in particular to be more assertive, more aggressive, more daring in certain places of the field, knowing that, hey, okay, if we don't get this 2nd and 9, this guy's going to kick through the uprights?
Yeah, but that's like a percentage on a certain amount. Like if you're on if you're like a little bit over the center field and you're like, okay, we're already in distance. There's a certain point on every single field that we're like, all right, this is Liegghio's distance. This is where he's good to kick from. And I got to get that information of where he's good to kick from. And that's like every kicker has that. Our kicker just so happens like where he's good from, he's great from. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that's going to like make you, okay, we're good. Like, forget it. Let's go. But what I want to start seeing, I want to see our offense go for 2. Like, I just want to see our offense go for 2 because we got a kicker that's going to kick the ball from wherever, get those 3 points. Let's get these extra points, these extra 2 points. Like, I just want to see it because it's like, why not? But to your point, it lifts Liegghio. What Liegghio's doing is tremendous because it's the ultimate jinx. How many times we up there, Rick, and every time you give it out the steps, oh, Liegghio's about to hit the 25th. I'm like, you just jinxed him! And then he's like, boom, it's good. I'm like, yeah! You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like, that got to be nerve-wracking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if somebody told me, oh, you never miss a tackle ever in your life. Every time it gets into like psychological warfare, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're like, I never miss. But I guess kickers are different. I can't speak for a kicker because I could never put myself in the kicker shoes, I mean, I could put them in the shoes as far as like knowing when pressure's on you and you have to perform no matter what and everybody's depending on you to perform. That's heavy pressure, and that's a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you still got that role as kicker where it's like, oh, they don't go through everything. Nah, but that pressure knowing that everybody is counting on you to make a play and, like, you only get one chance to make that play, potentially win or lose, you're in great shape when you got a Mark Liegghio on there. You sleep better, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's 40-yard kick, 45-yard kick, and it's 3rd and 3, all right, Liegghio. Oh, yeah, bring Liegghio on. If it's 3rd and 3, 45-yard kick, you got Brett Lawler. Man, we going for it. Stay on the You know what I'm saying? It's the truth,
Shots
though,
fired.
man. You know what I mean?
Geez,
Like,
funny.
that's like, so hell yeah, we happy. We got Liegghio.
Sim, we'll stay with you on this one. We saw Khalil Pimpleton at his absolute best on special teams, especially for Ottawa, with Devontae Dedmon gone for a while. What does Hamilton have to do to stop this guy on Sunday?
Hit him. He playing offense. Yo, if I seen Pimpleton on offense, he's getting hit regardless. I don't care if he got the ball or not. You know, I'm going to dare him to come and block him. He's on the field too much not to just put your pads on him, Like, block him a little extra when he has to hold on. Anybody that has to deal with Pimpleton, hit him. Because the boy is dangerous, yo. I'm so shocked that he hasn't been back there returning for Ottawa. I'm like, yo, what's going on over there? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the best athlete on their football team. Yeah. Y'all hear me? On their football team. He's that good. Because I was looking at I rewatched special teams, and I was like, yo, this is the most amount of tackles I've ever seen us miss on special teams. But then I had to think about what I said the week before when he came in for Dedmon and returned that. I was like, oh, that boy's the best athlete on Ottawa's team. So we can look at these missed tackles, but also understand that, that kid's really like that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, what they do is they've been practicing spreading the field, and make sure wherever you spread the field, you got to stay in your lane. You can't get ball hungry and follow the ball. It got to be like you going to war. When we was in military academy, we would play like airsoft with the airsoft guns, and we just be moving around, and then we would always get our butts kicked because the football players, we just over there shooting, yada yada yada, not following in formation, and then all the ROTC boys, they in their formations, straight line, flank flanking left, flanking right, and everybody attacking. And that's how we got to be. That's why they call special teams, because it's like the special forces. You got to be disciplined. For real, you got to be disciplined. If you're the lane one, you stay in lane one until it's not no lane one no more. If you lane two, you stay in lane two until there's not no lane two no more. You spread the field and stay in your lane until you don't got a lane no more and you can get to the ball. That's how you got to do it with a player like that, because he's a playmaker. And when he's on offense and you let him come in, I don't know what's wrong with Otto. I don't know why they always send these little receivers to try to block these grown men. Hardy almost quit playing football the other day because he had to block Jamal Peters on a screen pass to Pimpleton. They always putting these little receivers to block. If I see him come and try to block me, Rick and Matt, I'm going to pick him up like this, and I'm going to put him on the ground, and I'm going to leave him there for a little bit till the ref tell me to get him off of you, you know? So, like, yeah, you got to get like that sometimes, especially when he produced like that, because, look, he did that too, and you'll never know what that could have been, because somebody hit him a little too hard when he was on offense. You never know where those mistakes come from. They come from somewhere, though.
Very true. Matt, how would you tackle him, and would we even kick to him on Sunday?
Well, yeah, there's gonna be moments. It's like, I think you talk about kicking. I think one of the biggest things too is ball placement. Right, so there was a couple of times on those punts where the punts again put. I know there was a little bit of wind and all that, so sometimes the elements you can't control it. But I think ball placement is one of the biggest things. So if the ball's being punted in the middle of the field, that's going to you're giving Pimpleton, a talented athlete, a two-way goal, and then these guys are, of course, they're trying their best, but you give him that type of space, he's gonna punish you. And of course, what I want to add to that too, Sam, and we always talk, it's the exact same thing as staying in lane integrity, but it's like don't follow your color. Don't follow the same color. You follow the same color, you're wrong on some of these punts. You're wrong on these kickoffs, because these guys, they don't need a lot of space. You give Pimpleton the smallest space. You give Isaiah Wooden, they show it. Isaiah Wooden, he's flashed the same thing. If you give him a little bit of wiggle room, they're going to punish you. So discipline is important, and lane integrity is important. Get into the ball, playing fast, playing physical. And then, of course, we use one of the words that's been flashing back and forth through this podcast today has been confidence. So it's the special teams units, the cover units, they're playing with confidence too. So it's like, yeah, we know that we're going up against a really elite returner, but we got athletes over here too. And not to say that the athletes are better, but it's just, these are athletes too. Then these guys, hey, we're going to go out there, our 12 are going to beat their 12. And it's got to be like that. And so it's playing with confidence. It's, of course, lane integrity. And we're talking to Constantine on this, but it's ball placement. And then, of course, with the ball placement, we saw what happened. Sim, you just mentioned it. That ball got kicked over. He's got to rush. He's got to run over. He's trying to catch it. He's trying to baseball catch it over, trying to catch it over his shoulder. And that led to Bannatyne getting that recovery, right? That fumble recovery. So if we can confuse him on a few of those placements, of course, and then, of course, pin him, use the sideline as a defender, not punting the ball out when you don't need to, but using the sideline as a defender as well. I think it just that's one of the ways you just got to be sound, contain this athlete, and another elite returner, because we don't want to be giving up some of these big ones. I know they're going to look at that return, because sometimes what happens is, even though there's that return that got called back, it's still on tape. And so these guys are going to look at that and they're going to say, hey, we can break one. And this is the back-to-back. So they're looking at it like, hey, we can break one. Hamilton's got to play sound and say, we're taking all of that away on this back-to-back.
Got to be physical. And shocked? I got a question for you guys. How shocked were you about how undisciplined Ottawa's return team is? For them to have a special teams coach and not understand the different kinds of blocks, because it was just shocking to me. You know what I mean? Because if you're there's certain things that's instilled in every single team. For our football team, you'll be like, it's an offensive football team. they know what they're doing on offense, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when Orlando it's a defensive football team. Turnovers, all that stuff. You know what's going on, and it's the same thing in Ottawa. It's a special teams coach, so you would think they would know how to do all the blocks, and it was a close block, but it shouldn't have been close. Because like
Save
everybody
it,
understands there's a bunch of blocks. There's the block you can make, and the block that you can make, guys, you can guarantee front them up and make the block and push them out. And it's the block you can save, that was the kind of block, which is you just put your hands up and you use your body to block out. And then there's the next level block when you go upfield and make the block. And that was just poor football. And I'm just like, on a football team like that, why was that like that? I was happy it was like that, but it was just shocking to me. It was shocking to me. But yeah, but you're right though, Matt. You know, like a guy like that, man, shoot, bro. You got to just play great football. And the most important thing is hit his ass, yo. Don't let him – you got to hit – because everybody know when you grow up, Matt or Rick, when we grow up, right, we play this game. It's called Kill 'Em. You throw the football in the air, and it's just everybody versus everybody. It's like 30 kids out there, and you got to try to score a touchdown and juke everybody. Every neighborhood has one of these little short, fast kids that was so nice. Nobody could catch him. He's been getting his reps. He knows what he's doing. But the thing about them is they don't want to get hit because when they know they can't get hit, they throw the football up so somebody else can go get it. You know what I'm saying? So these kind of guys, when you playing them, you got to actually let them know or think that you really got bad intentions for them. Because when people out there running the ball and feeling safe, they having a fun time. But when they know you really trying to do something to them, they don't want to do that no more. So we got to pads on pads, baby. Pads on pads. Don't let them butter you up because these the kind of guys, Rick, you tackle them, like they'll break a 45-yarder and you tackle him, he'll be like, hey, good play, bro, you got it. You know, that's that reverse psychology so you don't hit him. Hit him!
The psychological warfare is the part of the game that we love as well. It's not just the physicality and the mental aspect of it. It's the psychological warfare that we love as well. Ticats in Ottawa this coming Sunday night. Tiger Cats pregame launches at 6 p.m. with Bubba and Matt. Kickoff is at 7. Simoni and Lawler will have the call of this big battle as the Ticats shoot for their 4th consecutive win. Let's end it with this, because this is game number 2 of a home-and-home between Hamilton and Ottawa. Of course, game 1 was last Saturday night in the Hammer. Ticats win 23-20. The rematch goes this Sunday. Matt, back in your playing days, it wasn't that long ago, did you, and I'm not sure how many you had of these, but did you like the home-and-home or the back-to-back games against the same team?
I did like the back-to-backs, actually. So a lot of times during going into the Labor Days, you know, when I played in Winnipeg, we had the Labor Day Classic, and then there was the Banjo Boom, right after it, right? And so I think one of the reasons why is because if you can get that first game, you get that first one. Now you guys just talked about psychological warfare. You're in their heads. Yeah. That team goes back. They're on the plane or on the bus or they're on the train going back, and all they're thinking about is that L. It's like, yo, we got to run it back. We got to run it back. We got to get them back. And so you have that edge going into that second game depending on how you win the game. And so I think I personally like them in terms of and also from a preparation standpoint. Now it's not so much because you have the game plans going into the second game. Most teams you don't see too many changes. It just comes down to execution. So now the second game is who's the better team. Who's the better team? And last year, you know, of course, with Hamilton doing the back-to-backs with Toronto, Hamilton had stole 4 against them, right? And now you're going up against Ottawa this year. It's a whole new year this year. But now you beat Ottawa the first game. Now you're in their heads. They're in their heads right now. And Ottawa went back and they lost the game. And they're all saying, "Oh, we should have won. We should have won. We should have won." And then, but there's no shoulda wouldas. You don't get paid on shoulda wouldas. You get paid on on your execution. And so I do like the back-to-backs. Just one, it's from the psychological standpoint, and then 2, of course, just from a preparation. It just comes down to, you know, you prepare pretty well, and then it's just coming down to execution. And now also these teams, they're going to find some wrinkles. They're going to find some holes. They're going to find some weaknesses in both units, right? In all the units, right? It's like, okay, how can we exploit these guys on special teams? How can we exploit these guys on defense? How can we exploit these guys on offense? And we're going to find some of their weaknesses. And this is what I like that chess match. That's why I like these back-to-backs, is because it comes down to that chess match. And when, you know, as a football player, as a football fan, this is something that you appreciate. And so I do like the back-to-backs. And I hope they keep them going, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Sim, did you like playing in those back-to-backs? And do you think the CFL should schedule more of them throughout the season?
I like the back-to-backs. but I also don't like the back-to-back.
Okay, what do you not like about it?
I'll be honest. I don't like playing the same team over just because, like, I need to feel fresh and I need to see new blood. You know what I mean? I already killed them, yo. I stepped on their face already. Now they trying their hardest to fight back and do something tough and stuff because I already stepped on their throats, yo. Like, I'm getting like, man, you don't want these guys to get embarrassed twice. You know what I'm saying? But the reason I used to love playing on that Labor Day game and then the game on the weekend, the only reason I like playing that. You get back-to-back checks in less than 5 days. So when we used to do it like that, give me a back-to-back game every week. You know what I'm saying? But when the whole week apart, everybody playing chess and doing, we could get them here. We should have did this. We could have did this. The only perfect thing about this is the Hamilton Tiger Cats won the game, but they didn't win the whole game. You know what I mean? They didn't perform the way that they would have liked to see themselves perform. You know, there were some things that they want to get better at and make sure that they're better at. You know, if I'm Coach McKnight, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go in the meeting room and be like, look, yo, we kicking the ball to Pimpleton. Who want to make a play? Everybody saying don't kick the ball to Pimpleton. We kicking the ball to Pimpleton. Do something about it. You know what I mean? Because this is the time of the year, and this is the kind of momentum we got right now. So it's like, Pimpleton's dangerous, yes, but how good do you want the guys to be? Do you want them to be like, oh, that's a problem right there, let's run away? Or do you want to build a team that, man, we ain't ducking nobody, you know what I'm saying? And you go and you dominate and you take what happens with that. You're going to find out who the heck's going to step up, who's going to be a leader, who's going to take that advantage. Like just how I was talking about Kenny being mad that somebody's saying it's an 80-20 ball. That's how somebody, B. Cole, should be on special teams. That's how Turnowski should be on special teams. That's how every linebacker that plays special teams, Fisher, all of the Baker, all of them boys, that's how they should feel like, what? We kicking away from who? I get paid to make plays on special teams, and we kicking the ball away from the guy I can make plays on? Coach, you tripping. Kick the ball to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it has to be. You got to set that culture, and I think this is the opportunity to do that.
It's a great point, and we'll find out what happens this coming Sunday night. It's the Tiger Cats in Ottawa to take on the Redblacks. Hamilton going for win number 4 in a row. A victory would keep them in first place in the East. Tiger Cats pregame with Matt and Bubba starts at 6. Kickoff is at 7 with Simoni and I. And a new episode of Ticats This Week drops next week. Join us then.
This has been the Ticats This Week on the Ticats Audio Network. Like, follow, and get a deeper understanding of your Hamilton Tiger Cats.